Padres de Capilla, was spiritually inspired by the call of renewal for a clerical marriage of the Roman Catholic priests. It was not a personal choice nor a wishful or capricious thought, but a clarion call sent to the center of faith in Rome, the Vatican City, to go back to the fundamental truth of the gospel. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and unite with his wife, and the two will become one, so they are no longer two but one. Man must not separate then what God has joined together. Matthew chapter 19 verses 5 to 6.
Pero nanindigan pa rin ang tatlong pari.
Na handa na kami mag-atubang sinayamon nga ginatulod nga kausa ni Father Jess.
On that fateful day of May 31st, 1998, almost 25 years ago, the advocacy happened when Father Ortiz Jesus Siva solemnized the marriage of Father Hector Canto and engineer Cynthia Diamante in Barangay Balagyao, Lambunao, Iloilo. The place popularly known as the Shrine of Mount Zion. This is the barangay where the community of believers wholeheartedly supports and accepts the clerical marriage of a Roman Catholic priest. Later, the community of believers is not only confined to the mentioned barangay but spread out to different places where the pastoral services of priests are needed. On December 10th, 2004, the Kadialinghan na naga tib ong sang pari kag sang iya pamilya kag kinama ta rong sang tawo or Kapilla Kita Incorporated was formally given a juridical personality by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Although the intention was for a religious organization, the nature of it was a non-governmental organization or NGO. This organization existed actively for almost 8 years. The main apostolate was the continuity of the ministerial priesthood anywhere it was needed by those who wanted to avail themselves of spiritual and sacramental services. Other services, such as medical missions, were also undertaken for the urban poor community. In the middle of 2004, Father Jose Elmer Cahilig from the Diocese of San Jose de Antique joined the wagon of the advocates for clerical marriage. Father Emmy, as he is fondly called, spent a whole night discussing with Father Jess in the latter's abode in the informal settlement the reason why a sensational and controversial celebration of the marriage happened. Father Jess explained to him that it was not just a personal choice but a private revelation. For the renewal of the priesthood is anchored in allowing the priests to have a spouse. Many stars are falling due to mandatory celibacy. Many priests are getting out of the ministerial priesthood because of this law. A priest left the church in full communion with the Holy Father because he wanted to get married to the woman he loved. Convinced of the simple but deep spiritual insight, Father Emmy abandoned his plan to join the Greek Orthodox Church and committed himself to support the clerical marriage of the Roman Catholic priesthood.
Made a lot of noise already, as we call it noise, in order for us to be heard by our bishops and also by Rome. We wrote letters, we sent emails in order for them to accept us.
On September 4, 2012, Compañía de los Padres de Familia or Padres de Capilla Incorporated was born at the prodding of Father Florenti Sapalaran from the Diocese of Bacolod, who joined the advocacy for clerical marriage. He argued that it would be better to make it appear like a religious congregation rather than a secular organization. His untimely death in January 2017 was a great loss to the organization. The community of believers requested the organization if the ministers or priests could perform the solemnization of marriages, which is why on July 14, 2014, the first certificate of registration of authority to solemnize marriages was approved by the National Statistics Office, and the area of jurisdiction was given by the said office within the entire Panay Island. Currently, the organization has been given by the Philippine Statistics Authority the jurisdiction to solemnize marriages covering the entire Philippines. As of today, Padres de Capilla sustain the ministerial apostolate in line with the practice of the Church, such as administering the sacraments and other sacramental activities to the faithful who accept the services of the married priests. Besides these priestly services, the organization is also involved in the livelihood aspect of the community, such as pig dispersals to the beneficiaries, who live by the principle that generosity is not repaid but spread throughout the community. Other extracurricular ministries are distributing school supplies, including slippers, to the kids at the opening of school. Churchgoers receive Christmas gifts during the holiday season. Padres de Capilla is waiting for the moment that the fulfillment of the message through the binding and losing power of Peter will soon be realized without antagonizing other married priests, organizations or individual married priests who opted to embrace other confessions and those who are comfortable in the lay ministry.
De hecho, en la Iglesia Católica hay sacerdotes casados, todo el rito oriental es casado, todo el rito oriental. Acá en la curia tenemos uno, hoy mismo me lo crucé, que tiene su señora, su hijo, viene y va. Entonces no hay ninguna contradicción para que un sacerdote se pueda casar.